Hi friends, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, I'm really happy you're here. My name is Tina. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I live in Nova Scotia, Canada. And to all my friends returning, I am so glad you're back because today's card is a fun fold that made my jaw drop when I first seen it. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can see where I got the inspiration for today's card. The original card was a baby themed card. Today I'm switching that up and I'm using a super fun, beautiful new suite from Stampin' Up called Les Shops. I think you are going to be wowed by today's card and I think you can have fun making them too. So without further ado, let's start stamping. Okay friends, here we go. I am so excited to share this card fold with you. For the card, I'm going to use the Let's Go Shopping stamp set and the coordinating designer series paper. So I actually haven't made the card using this bundle yet. It's going to be a fly as you go card, but I wanted to show you the designer series paper before I started cutting it all up. So look how cute. Look how cute with the little clothes, the little art shop. Just adorable. And then beautiful pattern on the reverse. And of course you get two of each pattern. Here we've got some bakery items and some soup. Another pretty background, and I do have my window open, so I apologize for any racket you may hear. My husband is also about to till the garden, so if it gets too loud, I will close the window. Look at this. I love that. I think that is so pretty. Then we have some more little store shops. We've got a candy and ice cream store. We've got the vegetables. I'm going to say that's pasta. And the bakery. So adorable. Oh, let's see the reverse side. I love that pattern. Okay. More little shops. We have a bookstore and a plant store. Oh, let's show you the reverse. There's the reverse. And then here we've got some books and paint and the flowers and then another pretty background. Okay, so for the card, I want to use the designer series papers that have all the little shops. Now the squares that I'm going to be cutting these out with are going to be on the smaller side. So hopefully the idea I have in my head works. So this is what I'm going to be using these patterns, okay? But the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to make the card base. So I'm bringing in my paper trimmer. Now I have been so absolutely addicted to these cards. I've made quite a few samples to show you at the end of this tutorial, just to give you some different ideas on how you can use this really fun pyramid block card when you are creating these at home. So I am actually going to open this up. So you could use your paper trimmer and the scoring blade, or you can bring in the Simply Scored for this as well. So this is my 8.5 by 11 piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to cut this down along the 11-inch side at 5 5/8, which is the little line just past the 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's my 8.5 by 5 5/8. This piece that I just cut, I'm going to cut a strip down at the 1 7/8. So that's 1/8 of an inch before the 2-inch mark. Okay. And then I'm going to cut another piece of paper that measures 5 5/8 by 5 5/8 so that it is square. You can also cut a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock at the 11 1/4 by 5 5/8 measurement and fold it in half so you have a card base. And some of my samples are card bases, so I will show you those as well. That open and close, but this one I'm just going to use this for the base. So I'm going to set that aside. Now it's time to do my scoring. And I'm going to actually first score this one at 6 5/8 because I find the 5/8 measure, 6 5/8 on my trimming tool kind of hard to see, so I'm just doing it this way. Okay. I actually have all the measurements memorized because I've truly been addicted to these and making so many. So I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch, 2 3/8, 4 1/4, and 6 1/8. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this one in, and oops, we'll go this way first. Along the 5 5/8 side, I'm going to score at 1 7/8. Flip it around and score it also at 1 7/8. We are making the squares, we're making the blocks now. And then I'm going to use all the same measurements I just used on this piece next. So I'm going to do 1/2 inch, 2 3/8, 4 1/4, 6 1/8. So that's the same as this piece here. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at the 8-inch mark. And before I take this off my scoring tool, I'm going to score down at 6 5/8 right here, just down to this 1 7/8 score mark that we made. I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing. Score down at the 6 5/8 to that 1 7/8 score line. Okay, so this, hopefully you can see, is what I've got. Now you can use your scissors or your paper trimmer. I'm going to use my scissors. I've been using my paper trimmer, but I don't want this tutorial to be super duper long because I have so many samples I want to show you. So I'm cutting up the score line to the 5 5/8, right? So that's the center. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so basically I have cut up like the 2 squares, so to speak. This little bit here, this tab you want to keep. So you're going to trim that so you've got your little tab. Okay, so I'm going to spin it over. So basically you're going up 2 score lines. You're cutting on that second score line. So now you've got 2 tabs on these pieces, and you also have your tab on this piece. You also have a tab here, 1 long tab. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the corners, and I have been following the tutorial from a gentleman in the UK. His name is Paul. I can't think of his last name. I'll put the link down below so you can see his video and the adorable cards that he made using this fun pyramid block technique. So I really appreciate him and his video, and he's really great at explaining this card as well. Okay, so you can see I've just created the first piece of my pyramid card, and now I have this strip, so I'm going to just fold up on those score lines, and then these 2 ends are also my tabs. Sorry, I'm off camera. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to snip off, you don't have to do this, snip off the corners. Okay, those are my tabs. So now it's time to add my tape. So I'm just going to take my tear and tape. You can use glue. The tear and tape is so handy, convenient, and quick. Okay, so I have put the strips of tape on my 2 tabs. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on this piece. You guys are going to so love this card. I have absolutely been unbelievably addicted to this card fold, you guys, and this video was never getting made because I kept making all these samples because I had so many ideas. Every time I made one card, I had an idea for another one, and then I had another idea, and I'm like, my gosh, if I just don't get this video done, it's never going to get done because I'm just going to keep making these cards. That's how much fun this is. And once you make one, I promise you, it's easy. It's not a complicated card, but once you make one, you are going to want to just keep making more and more and more, and it's really, really easy. All right, so I'm going to bring in my 5 5/8 by 5 5/8 square. Now let me just show you here. I have a piece of 12 by 12, so I'm just going to cut this just to show you. Open up my trimmer. And I'm going to cut this at 11 1/4. And spin it around and cut it at 5 5/8. I'm going to score it at 5 5/8. And that is what makes your card base. If you want this to open up as a card, either that way or that way, both will work. That's how you make your card base. Whereas today we're just doing the flat one piece. Now, if you don't have any 12 by 12 cardstock, of course we sell it, but I have also been using some of the white backings that come in our Designer Series paper packs, and of course you're going to get some of this black writing on the back. I've been covering it with Designer Series paper. So until you get some 12 by 12, you can certainly use some of those backings from your DSP, or just use a piece of cardstock like here. But we're not doing that today. We're using just the one layer. Okay, so next I am going to take off the backings of my tape. And some of the samples I'm going to show you guys don't even have Designer Series paper, because I wanted to show you just with stamps, because I know some of you might be new to stamping, excuse me, and don't have a whole lot of supplies. So you can just keep it simple with stamps, ink, and paper, or you can really step it up, which I'm also going to show you. Which I didn't just show you is what I was just doing because I was so busy yapping. But I just glued that strip down so that it's flush with the edge of that backing. Okay, I think that's pretty straightforward. I just glued that right across. Okay, so here's where you really want to pay attention when it comes to this bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this down just one square. So I'm folding down on this score line right here. So I'm folding it down, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this tab and do that. Flip this tab, push it down, and then flip this tab and push it down. Okay, then when you open it up, that's the first layer of your card base. I got something there, I don't know what it is. There we go. Okay, easy. This piece goes on next. Take off the backings. Okay, I'm going to fold this over, this little tab, and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of this square right here, okay? So to do that, I'm just going to push that down, okay? And I'm going to line it up right in the middle between those score lines, okay? So basically, we're extending this piece right here, okay? So again, if you have it sit like that, and you just fold it down, this is going right in the center. Okay, now this piece, I'm going to fold it down once, flip it over, I keep going off camera, let me do that again. I'm going to fold this down once, flip this over, and glue it down. So you can see again, I'm just extending this, so when you open it up, you've got your pyramid blocks. And that's it. That's the card fold. And then you just decorate it to your heart's content. And I am going to pull in those pieces of Designer Series paper, and I want to make this look like a a bunch of different shops. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I really hope this turns out. If not, I've got lots of samples to show you. So I am going to bring in my Stylish Shapes dies and grab a square. So I am going to use the second smallest square. Okay, so the second smallest square, which is, I think, not quite 1 5/8 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much 1 5/8. And our squares are just shy of 2 inches, 1 7/8. So if you want your squares to match up pretty well, you can cut them for your cardstock 1 7/8, which I may do. But I am just going to take these squares and start cutting out little pieces. Now I know I am going to lose bits and pieces of the images, but I'm okay with that because I still think it's going to look really, really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out some squares from these Designer Series papers. Okay, so I have cut out all my squares, and I've kind of positioned them a little bit just to give me an idea of where I want to put them. And then I also cut out from this pattern Designer Series paper, I cut out some of the gray backing for squares too, because I'm probably going to incorporate some of these onto the card. I have a couple of extra squares, and then let me see, the dies that go with this, there's little plant pots. So let's bring my die cutting machine back. All right, so I saved this Designer Series paper because guess what? The die fits on that plant pot perfectly. So I'm not going to need that second one. I'm going to cut that out. Didn't do a very good job of that, did I? Gonna have to use my scissors after all. Oh well, still save me some time. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. And then this one is a little bit smaller, so we won't bother using the die. I'm just gonna trim. And I wanna use this little bench. Look at this little bench die, you guys. So cute. So let me check my scraps here. I have a piece of copper clay, which I've already cut a deer out for one of the other samples I'm going to show you guys. So I'm just going to use that to cut my little bench out. This is going to be like paper dolls. I'm probably dating myself, but yes, I had paper dolls growing up. Princess Diana and Charles and Holly Hobby and can't remember the other ones, but I loved my paper dolls growing up. So anyhow, look at the little bench. This is gonna be like just fun to put this all together. Okay, what else can we use? There's so much we can use. There's so many super cool dies that come in this bundle. But oh, there's a lamppost. Okay, maybe I should cut that out just in case. Okay, little lamppost. Okay, let's just set that there. So I'm going to start on the bottom 3, okay? So I'm just going to fold this down. This is the piece that's going to be facing front, and I have mucked all of this up. Let's try to get this right here. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. So I'm just going to glue this on. So, of course, you can cut cardstock to go behind these. I'm not going to for this particular card. And I thought I would put doors all along the bottom, but now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, I'm going to use doors on the bottom. So all the pieces that have doors, I'm going to stick on the bottom 3, and I'm just centering them inside those white squares. Okay. Now for this one, on the top, this is going to be the top of this square, I'm going to use a gray piece. That's going to kind of serve as maybe my concrete. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out when it's all done. Okay, let me show you what I've got so far. Look, I'm making my little apartment store building. Okay, so I wanted to put gray on these pieces too, which are going to be on the top of the doors. I'm just trying to make sure that the pattern is all going in the same direction as well. So this piece, whoops, stay on you. This piece here, you can either use that to put the sentiment, or you can put another storefront. I'm going to put a little storefront. So let's see, let's do the little art store. Center that down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Seriously, oh my goodness. This is turning out so cute with that designer series paper. Okay, so now we're going to put 2 squares on each side and a square in the middle, and plus this bit here. So this bit here, I want to put a gray piece again, because that's kind of going to be the top of the building. That's where my imagination is taking me on this card. The joy ride to creativity. Come on aboard. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. So now it's time to put some more pieces on. So I'm going to put this little bookstore. And I'm just basically lining it up. Even though there's no score lines on top, I'm lining it up with this piece right here. I'm going to bring in this one. I'm seriously going to need to order more of this paper because I love the patterns on the back of these papers as well. Oh, just too much fun. And I'm going to add some window pieces that I cut up on the top, just spacing it out. I've got some glue on there, so I'll take that glue off in a second, and that's not super straight, but that's going to do. Okay, ready? So first of all, when this closes up, it's going to close up like so. I don't have my score lines right. You are going to need to make an envelope for this, and I just used my envelope punch board, which I know Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell anymore, but I know a lot of you have them. So once you open it, it's going to open like a cube, like that, and I love it. So what I'm going to do now is the pieces inside, I'm going to add some more gray, and then I have a couple more little squares here. I think I'm just going to tuck them in on the sides, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just basically, this is why I like to use the glue. I can wiggle it to try to get it straight. That way when you're looking on the side, you're still going to see those little images inside. And I really wonked up this placement because I'm rushing because I want to get this video uploaded for you guys. It's Saturday and I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time. Some of you who follow my blog posts and Facebook will already know, but my husband and I flew home to BC last week. I'm actually from Comox on Vancouver Island, for those of you who don't know, and that's where my dad and my family live. Anyhow, my dad ended up in ICU, so Brian and I got our butts on the plane and got home so we could be with my dad and do whatever we could to help. He's doing great, thank goodness, because for a bit there it was a little bit iffy and we weren't sure if my dad was gonna pull through. He had some health issues from years ago and some breathing issues, so it was pretty scary. And in between the hospital visits, Brian and I revamped his backyard with new flower beds and a new shed, and kept ourselves busy with that. So when he got home, he was pretty thrilled and delighted, but we have still been trying to recover with the time difference and the travel, and we were up 42 hours with our delayed flights by the time we got back this past Monday night. So so yeah, we have been a going concern, getting caught up on laundry and our own yard work and what have you. So that's why I'm rushing, because I want to get this up so you guys can see these and make some yourself. So I'm just taking off that glue that dried. Okay, and let's grab this one. I'm gonna need one more little shop square, I think. I'm gonna do 2 more because you can peek right through there. Maybe 3 more. So while I'm cutting these pieces out, I do want to extend my absolute sincerest gratitude to everyone who's been sending me messages and prayers for my dad. Prayers were definitely at work with his recovery. That is without a doubt. And he is doing much better. I've been talking to him every day, and he's taking it easy, which I'm really happy about. So thank you, you guys. Truly, I have an incredibly wonderful, beautiful community through my Stampin' Up. And I am very, very lucky, so thank you all. Okay, bring my glue back in. I'm gonna glue the little candy shop just in the center here. So I'm just eyeballing it so I can put it right in the center. Push it down with my glue. So you see how you can see right through there? Stinking adorable. And then I'm going to take another gray one. And I'm going to tuck that in the bottom center over here. And it looks tricky, but it's really not. It's just really tricky when you got lights and your camera and your phone stand right in front of you. But really, it's not tricky. And of course, you could do this before you even adhere all of this together, right? I am so loving this. I have no words. I have no words. Okay, and then I have a little pasta shop. Pasta vegetable. My aunt used to have a pasta shop, and I used to work with her, and we made fresh pasta and bakery and seafood lasagnas. Sometimes I think it might be fun to make and sell fresh pasta again. Look at. Can you guys see that? And then I'm going to take the remaining gray squares. Well, I'm going to take one here first, and I'm going to put that right in this bottom. Now, you don't have to put anything in here, but I wish I had some Designer Series paper with the grass pattern. I think that would be really, really cute to put along there. But I'm just going to leave that as it is. And I'm going to take my little bench and find a little spot. See if I can put this bench somewhere. Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cute right there? Pop it up. I might not need this bench, you guys. If you were to keep this up all the time, that would be adorable, standing it up like that. But, let's see. Well, you know what? Let's try. Let's try and see what we get. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Just a tiny bit. It's a new bottle. Ugh, I don't want it to squirt out too much. So let me get a piece of scrap paper here and just swipe that along. And I'm going to glue it just like so. So even if it's closed, right, you can still, it still pops up. It's not perfect, but let's fold it over, see. Oh my gosh. And then this, of course, just pops out like that. Seriously, seriously, seriously gorgeous. This, now the lampposts are normally on the ground, like so. That would work. So we need to get the little yellow bit inside there. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my glue and just add a tiny bit behind this. Get that little piece of paper again. That really helps when you're getting your tiny little bits. Okay. Because I only need a tiny little bit of yellow, I'm just gluing it right on there, and then I'm just going to trim off the excess. Oh my goodness. How many times have I said oh my goodness during this video? I don't know, but seriously, oh my goodness. So because when this folds up, that's going to go right here. I'm going to glue that right on. Okay, plant pots. Guys, where are my little plant pots? They are MIA. Here they are. Here's my plant pots. So I could keep decorating, keep doing all kinds of things, but I'm just going to get a sentiment on here and call it a day and show you the other samples. But I must say, I am really pleased with this. And then of course you can stamp and write your message on the back. You can cut another piece of paper if you want to put it on the back. But yeah, that makes me so happy. I can't even tell you. Can't even tell you. Okay, sentiment. I have chosen to stamp Wish You Were Here. So I'm just going to grab my block and I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to stamp it in black. Okay, and I'm just stamping this sentiment onto one of those squares that we cut earlier. And it might even fit on the tab. I'm going to stamp it twice just to see. That might be a little bit too close. We'll stamp it right here. Wish you were here. All right. I probably could get away with that. Just cut along that score line. All right, let's save that piece for another card. I'm actually going to cut those letters right out and glue them on to this square right here. Cute little stand that I also thought I would put on the card. So we'll just trim that out. And now I'm just going to get kind of fancy-pantsy. I'm just going to take this little itty-bitty scrap piece of white. It might even be too tiny, I don't know. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. I'm going to put it right here, kind of on a slant. I'm just folding that down. You see where I'm going with this? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I'm going to take a little bit, where's that little bit of glue here? I'm going to take a little bit of glue, just go on the bottom, and just glue it on there. Holy cow. Considering I wasn't sure how this card was going to turn out, oh my gosh, I'm so pleased. And again, it closes up. You can put Designer Series paper down here. Like you can put, you know, more squares down here if you want. Which I may or may not do, I don't know. But I think that is absolutely so stinking cute. I can't even stand it myself. Can't even stand it. It is adorable. Let me get all these bits and pieces out of the way. How fun is that? How fun? I mean, fun. And the only stamping was the sentiment. and it stands up really well, and it looks really stinking cute. Okay, so let me show you some samples. So this was the first one I made. So I was using some Greatest Journey Designer Series paper that was in our last catalog. It was free during celebration. So I thought, what would it be like if I just cut up the pattern, and obviously my moon, all that could have been moved up or something, but it's my first one. But I'm still really pleased with it. I think it's really cute. The sentiment, always hope, because you never know what tomorrow will bring, and the miracles happen. That was from a paper pumpkin stamp set, and then my little deer. And then because I used the backing of my Designer Series paper, I just glued on a piece of DSP. So you can see how that works on a card base, right? And it'll just fold up and tuck into an envelope, custom-made envelope. So you want a 6x6 envelope for these. Okay, so let me show you another one. So here it is closed. This is using the new daisy bundle, Cheerful Daisies. So when you open it up, that's what it looks like. My little diamond doesn't want to stay on the vellum that I've got on my bee. There we go. Again, that just pops out. Isn't that fun? Like, are you starting to get some ideas on how you can use these? And of course, because it doesn't have the card base, right? But the squares, the blocks, hold the card up perfectly. Really, really fun. Really fun. Okay. There's more. This one, I wanted to focus on stamps versus Designer Series paper. So I stamped this, and when you open it up, and of course this is the little ladybugs. Oh, and I stamped in the middle there too. So there's like a little hidden message in there. May your greatest wish come true, because this is a birthday card. Like, I'm telling you, I cannot stop making these, guys. I cannot stop making these. Really, 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 really fun. But wait, there's still more. I got two more to show you. The Saint Sue Designer Series paper. Holy cow. First of all, this little guy, because I love to meditate, this little guy, I gotta frame him or do something, because he makes me happy just looking at him. But when you open it up, that's what you get. And just like today's, I just used Designer Series paper. So when you look in it, you got all these cute little characters. And the sentiment is also from a paper pumpkin. I love using my paper pumpkin stamp sets. Like, oh my gosh. And then the inside, because I used, again, the backing from my Designer Series paper packs. Now, I do have 12 by 12 white cardstock, but I can only find a couple sheets, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make more cards. So I just covered it with the Designer Series paper. Oh my goodness, these make me so happy. Okay, more. Well, before I show you the very last one, I'll show you this one that I haven't finished yet, because this Designer Series paper pack is absolutely sensational. And I'm kind of thinking about cutting up a poem or something and putting a poem or just some words like, I don't know, create, inspire, or I don't know. I want to play around with this. I'm even thinking about adding some lace and trinkets, but I wanted to show you so you can get some more ideas. Okay, last card now. Last card. This one has an envelope. I wanted to show you the envelope. So if you're going to mail these, yes, it's going to cost you extra postage. But when you're spending the time to make amazing cards like this, and you want to make it for somebody special, then they're worth the extra postage, in my opinion. So I made this a baby card. I don't need a baby card right now, but when somebody is going to have a baby soon in my family, guess what? Or my friends, this card is ready to go. And I just loved it. I just made a belly band, and this is all from scrap paper, this belly band, and little scraps and bits and pieces that I had on my desk. And I just made the little banners, and I had extra flowers from my flower punch. And I just added a little square that was left over from my card to kind of tie in those ends, and then just glued another square behind it. So very, very simple belly band. And then the envelope opens. It says, "You are such a sweet baby." And then these are my baby card blocks, my baby blocks. Let's open it up. Okay. Can you see? So that is what I did there. And then I just put the different patterns in the centers. And then on the inside, I really gussied it up. I used so many stamps and products on these cards today. I had so much fun. Well, not just today. I've been making these for the last couple of days. Because sometimes you have to walk away and decide how you're going to finish them. And then you come back in your room and you're like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Whereas when you're working on them, sometimes you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Right? Don't you find that happens? So I love this. I love this. So there you go, guys. Can you see why I have been so excited about sharing this fun pyramid card with you? Addicting. I cannot even tell you guys. I think you're getting the idea because I want to make Christmas ones. I want to use different stamps, different papers, different punches. Just one of the most fun cards I've made in a long time. So thank you so much for watching. If there's any questions that you may have, details will be in the description below. My email's in the description below. And I sure appreciate you guys watching my videos. And I hope you have a lot of fun making these. Thanks, you guys. Take care and happy stamping.